Power Rangers have healing properties in real life?
My name is Emlyn Clayton Corbin from Slingerlands, New York. Let's talk about that.
Good Mythical Morning.
Wow. This episode is brought to you by Rode microphones, the microphones that we use in the field on our main channel videos to make them sound real sweet.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today. I'ma talk like this because I'm feeling it today. How you feeling today? Huh? How you feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling mythical in the morning.
Can we edit that out?
No, just keep going. People loved it.
You
don't want me to do this the whole time? Yeah.
I think you could start your own channel where you just do that.
I can just do this.
I think we're going to have like a meeting after this where
Well, I'm going to call it...
You can start your own channel.
YouTube.com/RhettandLink3 because...
You could call it Link and Rhett if you want to finally have the name first. And then you can do anything you want to.
Okay, I'll call it Link and Rhett because I know that you will see what I'm doing over there and you will inevitably join me. And you'll be talking like this too. And yeah. How you feeling?
It's kind of like a Dick Tracy gangster meets a modern day gangster.
Hey, see, what you want to talk about today? Hey?
Well, I want to talk about the fact that I was left all alone with my children recently by my wife. This is something that I try to avoid if at all possible.
And your children do too.
Not because I don't love my children, but because, as George Clooney describes in The Descendants, which I recommend that you see, it's a good movie, he considers himself the backup parent. When left with the children, he is suddenly overwhelmed with the fact that he is not very good at taking care of the children, and this is how I feel when I'm left alone.
But you're not really saying that you're a terrible parent. You're just saying how great of a parent your wife is, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's really all you're saying.
And as we established on an episode in the past on Good Mythical Morning, we have kept our kids before. We talked about what happened with their kids and everything. It involved Power Rangers, which again, it involves Power Rangers again today. But this time it was 2 nights. Night 1. Great. Everything was great. They slept through the night. Night 2, I put Shepard to bed, and as I'm putting him to bed, he kind of leans over to me. This is my 3-year-old.
He's not a newborn. To say he slept through the night, that's something you would say about a newborn. He finally slept through the night.
Well, no. I mean, they get up and they want water, and
this is a 3-year-old.
They've got emergencies and stuff. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to sleep through the night every night. But it was a flawless night. Everything went great. They had good dreams. They didn't wake up complaining about the boogeyman or anything like that. They've never complained about the boogeyman, actually. But they could, theoretically.
It could happen.
But as I'm putting Shepard to bed on the second night, he kind of looks at me and he says, I'm sick. I'm sick.
I'm sick. And he sounded like an elderly man.
And so I was like, okay.
I'm sick, Daddy.
I was like, okay, it's gonna be okay. I don't know what kind of sick it is. I was just like, just go to sleep, son. And I was like thinking, oh, please, I hope this is nothing really serious that I don't have to deal with in the night. Just put him to bed. Well,
classic fatherly deflection.
Put him to bed. He went to bed about 8:39 p.m., right?
Sleep it off, son.
Midnight. We got to midnight. And suddenly I hear from the room, Mommy! 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 And I'm thinking, Mommy's not here. First of all, I'm thinking he's going to be very disappointed when Daddy comes in because he's forgotten that Mommy is not there. I walk into the room. I see the disappointment on his face, and I say, Shepard, what's wrong? He's like, I'm sick. And then I'm like, what's sick, son? He's like, my stomach. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I feel him, and he's got fever like crazy. Like I did the whole like compare Locke's forehead to his forehead. That's the great thing about having 2 kids is you have a barometer unless they're both feverish.
Okay, you have a control group.
Yeah, so I put my head on Locke, the control group, and then I put my hand on Shepard's head.
And Locke was still sleeping?
Oh, yeah, he doesn't even remember anything. He slept through the whole thing. Shepard definitely has a fever, so now I'm kind of beginning to panic a little bit. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And so then he's still complaining, and he seems almost inconsolable, but he's talking about his stomach. And so
now, were there any empty toothpaste bottles around?
No, he had not ingested toothpaste. So I said, and this has worked before. I've seen my wife do this. I said, because he was not going back to sleep. I said, "You want to watch some cartoons, or do you want to watch something on Netflix? Or that you think that make it feel better?" and he says, "Yeah." So
midnight, you're turning on the television.
Yeah. So, and again, there's some psychologist out there who's like, I can't believe they're treating their children with television.
So your first plan.
Get over it.
Yeah, he says.
Do you have children?
No, they're therapizing people. They're too busy.
They don't have any experience.
To make or raise
They just
babies.
go to college, and then they get a graduate degree, and then they start telling people how to raise their parents.
Right.
I actually have children. I put my hands on both of their heads at the same time to figure out which one has a fever. Did you learn that in psychology school? Huh? No, you didn't. You learned that from me, the parent.
He also said they raise parents, but they tell you how to raise your kids, which they shouldn't do. They shouldn't do. You never tell anyone how to raise their kids. Don't do that in the comments with him. Don't criticize the parent.
Because let me tell you,
even if the first thing the parent says is, "Oh, you're sick, go to sleep," and then if they wake up and they say, "Well, I'm still sick," they say, "Well, you want to watch television?" It's uncriticizable.
That's
okay,
right. There's no holes in this parenting philosophy. Because I took him out there. I said, "What do you want to watch?" He said, "Power Rangers, Red Ranger Duel."
He's very specific about
Like,
what he wants to
I knew
do.
they like Power Rangers, but then I go on Netflix and I realize, well, heck, we've got all kinds of Power Rangers has like 25 different series that with multiple characters, multiple episodes. Yes, Power Rangers, this, that, Mystic Force, Dark Ranger. I don't know. I don't really pay much attention. I just knew that he wanted Red Ranger Duel, so I put that on. He watches that. And then he's watched it a bunch, and it's actually just one, it's like a movie. So about 15 minutes in, he starts going, "Mommy." And at this point, I'm like, this guy, he's freaking out because he's still asking for mommy, although he knows that she's not there. I've reminded him. So I'm like, "Shepard, do you think a different Power Rangers would help?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What you want to watch?" He's like, he's 3, remember? "Power Rangers Mystic Force." He's like writing his own prescription, but it's always Power Rangers.
So there's a Mystic Force.
So we put Power Rangers Mystic Force on, and all of a sudden I'm like, this seems to be helping. Like he watches a full episode. Mm-hmm. We're into like 1 a.m. now, right? This is when we're all supposed to be asleep. But then I started to notice he becomes inconsolable again, and then he starts doing this "I'm about to throw up" thing.
Oh no.
And I'm like, "Shepard, come on!" And I grab him, I take him to the bathroom, I put him in front of the toilet, and then he does that thing where he knows he's supposed to be vomiting, but no one likes to vomit, and so they were kind of holding it back. But then my 3-year-old vomits into the bathroom, into the toilet, and so then I kind of wiped him down a little bit, and then
That's good that you got him there.
Yeah, no accident. And then I said, "You feel better?" He's like, "Yeah." Because right after you vomit, you feel great.
You feel better.
And I take him back in there, and we watch like the second episode of Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Mm-hmm.
Again, towards the end of the episode, "Mommy," and then he starts.
What kind of makes me wonder is that
this time I had a bucket though.
Is Mystic Force bringing on the nausea, or what's really happening?
Well, I really need a control group in this case too. I should bring my other child out and make him just go through this as a control group. Next time this happens, I'm going to bring Locke out and be like, "Locke, wake up, son, wake up! No, I know you're not. You have to come watch Power Rangers through this.
1 a.m. Let's watch some Power Rangers.
You have to watch Power Rangers all night with your sick brother because I need to figure out if the Power Rangers are making him sick or if
they're healing him.
They're helping him. I think they helped him because they distracted him for a while. But then for the next 5 hours until 6 a.m., there was a cycle. The cycle was an episode, like an average of 1.5 episodes of Power Rangers, and then the desire to vomit, and then the actual vomiting. By this time, I just had a bucket out there, and I would just pick the bucket up, and I would hold it for him. He would throw it up into it, and then I would take it, and I would wash it out. He would watch another episode, and he'd get inconsolable, start asking for mom. I would let him throw up again. This continued until 6 a.m. when he finally had thrown up all he was going to throw up. He went to sleep, and he slept until like 9 o'clock. And then he woke up.
Yeah, and then I actually came over, and he must have been sleeping on the couch where he was watching the Power Rangers, because he was on the couch and Locke was awake, and you were coming out of the room, and I said, "Shepard, have you been vomiting?" And he looked at me and he said, "What's that?" I said, "Throwing up." He was like, "Oh yeah, I've been doing that."
And I've been watching a lot of Power Rangers. Now, so I'm not going to prescribe Power Rangers for your children if they're sick, but sometimes they need a distraction. And he was inconsolable. So if you're a psychologist, You can write your opinion. Tell me where I was wrong.
Ooh, you've brought on the wrath of psychologists.
There's no psychologists who watch this show. What are you, crazy? That's why I did it. It was a setup. It was a setup.
Leave your parenting tips for Rhett in the comments below and your scathing criticisms. How are we gonna end this episode of Good Mythical Morning? Spin again. I'm gonna spin it lightly.
We're spinning again because we need more suggestions from you as to how we should end episodes, and they gotta be things that we can do
We
quickly.
got 3. Sign off as sock puppets.
Okay. I've been waiting on this.
Take my shoe and my sock off here. Boy, I'm definitely gonna have to wash my hand. Wow!
No, you got it. No, you gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go.
A sock puppet, man. You never been a part of like a theater group or anything?
Hello, boys and girls.
Head all the way down.
Hello, boys and girls. Hey, buddy. You think we should?
Hey!
You think we should end this episode?
We don't have any eyes, but we weren't really expecting to have to do this.
Your breath smells horrible. It smells like feet.
You're not funny,
I was being serious.
but come to think of it, neither am I.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
What is this place?
Go Power Rangers!
I've never seen this place. I've always been in the dark. Can I go back into my shoe?